Welcome to another Flip video lesson. We are starting chapter 10, which is all about the Bill of Rights. So it stands to reason that the first Flip video for lesson 10.2 is all about how the Bill of Rights were created. This picture right here is a very interesting little comic, and it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but as we go through and learn about the different bills in the Bill of Rights, each of these pictures shown here will make more and more sense, and you may just look back at this and say, wow, that's cool. Let's begin. Let's talk about what I titled Promises for a Later Time. Now, the Constitution, when it was finally finished, was easily ratified in Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. However, it was not easily ratified in Massachusetts. The reason behind this is the group called Anti-Federalists. Now, the Anti-Federalists, if you remember, were against the signing of the Constitution. And their main reasoning was that they didn't feel that people's rights were listed in the Constitution. Federalists, remember, were the group of people that wanted there to be a shared power between the states and the government, the federal government, that is. Anti-Federalists wanted the states to have more power. They felt the Constitution took power away from the states and thus took power away from the people. And they felt the Constitution needed to have some rights put into it. The Federalists, on the other hand, people who wanted there to be equal power between the federal government and states, felt as though that the rights that weren't listed in the Constitution were automatically given to the people in the states. Their thought was, just because it's not there doesn't mean they don't have it, as this comic illustrates. In the end, it was promised that if Massachusetts and the other states kind of holding back, if they ratified the Constitution, a Bill of Rights would be added later. James Madison was true to his word. During the first congressional session, he worked on his promise to try to get a Bill of Rights put into the Constitution. In fact, he looked through hundreds of proposals that were sent by the states' ratifying conventions. What he tried to do was he tried to choose the least controversial of all of these proposals, because of course he wants them passed. And if they're going to be controversial, James Madison knew that they would not be passed. Finally, December 15th, 1791, the final state that was needed to pass the Bill of Rights, which would have been the 11th out of the 13 states, ratified the Bill of Rights. Only 10 of the original bills were actually ratified. A few moments now to actually take a look at what the Bill of Rights are and what they are not. Now, if you were to read through the first 10 amendments, you can see that the amendments apply to how the federal government interacts with the citizens of our country. The Bill of Rights do not explain how the individual states should interact with the citizens. And that's an important distinction to see. As Chief Justice Marshall said a few hundred years ago, and I quote, "The Fifth Amendment was intended as a limitation on the exercise of power by the government of the United States, and is not applicable to the legislatures of the state." So as you heard just then, as Chief Justice Marshall said, the Bill of Rights was meant to limit the power of the federal government. It was meant to explain and to show how the federal government should interact with its citizens. It was not meant to limit the state's power. It was not meant to demonstrate how the states should interact with the citizens. Finally, let's take a look at a short summary of what the Bill of Rights actually are. You'll find as we go through the first 10 amendments to our Constitution that there are rights that protect certain liberties and freedoms that all citizens have. Also, some of the amendments provide safeguards for people who are accused of crimes. Finally, there are actually 2 amendments that were reactions to what the British Army had done to American citizens during the American Revolution and before the American Revolution. So these amendments were put in place to ensure that people could protect themselves and that no army could abuse them. So once again, going back to this starting picture, the hope is that by the end of chapter 10, you'll be able to look at these pictures and that you'll be able to see and to understand what each of these pictures represents in our Bill of Rights. Thank you for watching this flip video. Please go to Edmodo and answer the questions. And also, as a reminder at the end of my video here, this video is meant for educational purposes. So please, if there was anything in the video or on the outline that you did not understand, make sure to watch the video again or write me an email and I'll answer you as quickly as I can. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in class.
I love the Bill of Rights. It's so right, those Bill of Rights. So the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights. I want to learn about the Bill of Rights. Yeah.